So we're establishing relationships between Indigenous and non-Indigenous, not only between these people, but between their libraries.
So many people in libraries, since the recommendations of Truth and Reconciliation came out, we've all been struggling with what we can do. I've been struggling with this for a long time, even before the TRC recommendations came out. This idea that there is this fund, an existing fund that had been a bit stagnant, and they wanted to sort of revive it, rebrand it, get it to mentoring, because that's a strategic priority of the Ontario Library Association. We want to find out from people involved what is really needed. And so we made connections with the Diversity Committee, with the Indigenous Task Group, and took our cue from them. It was just very, very exciting, and it started helping me personally think more coherently about some of the ways that I could approach this, and started me on this huge learning journey personally.
The Spirit of Reconciliation Award. It's extremely important because it establishes a relationship between Indigenous and non-Indigenous librarians in Ontario. And what it does is it covers their travel and accommodation here to attend the OLA Super Conference. So these First Nation librarians are partnered with a mentor, somebody from the mentoring committee, with a non-Indigenous public librarian, municipal librarian. As the chair of the Indigenous Task Group, I'm asked by a lot of non-First Nation librarians how it is that they can establish a relationship with a local public library.
What mentoring to me is not, the guru helping somebody else. It's a reciprocal arrangement, and my role at the conference was really to be like a conference Sherpa. So it was just me being able to make those connections, right? Which that was really, really interesting to me, because I learned something about the needs of that community that really hadn't occurred to me.
I got to share some of the information that I had learned over years, and that I knew that it was going to be put into practice and have a positive impact on the community she came from. And that's a good feeling. What I've learned from this initiative is that there are a lot of allies in the non-Indigenous world. There are a lot of supports. There are a lot of people that want to reach out and they want to establish relationships. They want to follow through with what they can. Spirit of Reconciliation is that establishing that partnership with an Indigenous and a non-Indigenous librarian, so that the non-Indigenous librarian has someone within the Native community that they can then go to and ask their questions.
The mentoring fund allows us to do something on a grander scale, maybe more intentional. Spirit of Reconciliation is a perfect example, because the idea is to help people come to the conference who otherwise wouldn't be able to come. And since some come from more remote areas of Ontario, the travel costs are prohibitive.
There is sort of a model that other Indigenous and non-Indigenous librarians can follow. So the benefits are extremely far-reaching, and they will continue for years to come.
It's not anything big and splashy, it was just the conversations. I would say it was the conversations that enabled. And as I said, it's all about relationships.
I'm very grateful to the support of Sheila Patterson and the Ontario Library Association and the board in allowing us to, because the first year it was a trial, it was an experiment. It seems like a very good idea, and so we went with it, and it did turn out to be very, very beneficial to many of the First Nation public librarians as well as the non-Indigenous librarians. You can't measure the value of establishing a relationship.